Alright guys, I'm going to go through with you the steps I'm taking to prepare for and to build out my fireworks display for this New Year's celebration. So here are the steps I'm taking. These first three are going to be the planning step. The following four is how you execute and essentially blow it all up. So starting with number one, establish your budget. This is the most important. How much money do you want to spend? You could do these weeks in advance. Personally, for me, I do these months in advance. I set an amount of money for myself so that way I know how much to save. Another thing to do is to set a buffer. And what I mean by buffer is how much extra would you be willing to spend? This is not always necessary for everybody, but personally for me, I've done this because there were times where you go and buy all your fireworks, you come back home, you look online, there's a new promo, there's a new firework they just released, something else that you want to add to your show but you didn't budget for. This way, that gives you that little extra wiggle room for you to go and buy that extra cake, extra mortar set, whatever it is you need to make your fireworks show the way how you want it to be. And if you don't see anything else, then essentially that buffer is saved up money. So that's a positive for me. Sorry, I got the 3D printer going on, so that's what that buzzing sound you might hear. Number two, make a list of all the fireworks that you may want in your show. Check the specs. A lot of the firework companies online, they have their online catalogs. You can check all of that out. You can see the price, you can see the specs, you can see what type of fireworks it is. Online, I love the sites that have the videos of the fireworks being shown. They show you the display, you know what it looks like, so that way when you organize your show, you can layer effects in properly and impress your audience. The next step is to organize the show after you make your list. Make a chart. Later in this video, I'll give you an example of what I'm doing for this year. And things you want to take into account is how long certain fireworks, certain cakes are going to be burning for, the height of the displays, how you're going to be layering it, the style of the cake, whether it's shooting straight up, whether there's angles on there. And these are the things you want to take into account. After this planning phase is done, it may take a while to plan, but if you do this properly, it'll make your life much easier for the following steps. Next would be to purchase your fireworks. Go and purchase your fireworks. Make sure you have a nice, cold, dry place to store your fireworks until it's time to put them all together. That way there won't be any problems when it comes to lighting them up. Next would be to gather the other materials you need. Plywood boards to glue your cakes, your mortar racks, whatever it is that is going to be part of your show. Glue them to the boards so that they're nice and secure. You want to buy fuses. Make sure you have long enough fuses, and always have a little bit extra, so that way you don't always have just enough, or you may run short, which could actually ruin a lot of things. And personally, for me, I use zip ties and tape to tie my fuses together. I know there are fuse clips out there. You could also use those as well. Next would be to put that all together. Once you gathered all your materials, follow the chart that you made, going through all of the timings and all of that sort, cutting the fuses all properly. And last step would be to blow it up, and hopefully everything works. Personally, for me, I'm an amateur at this, so I'm doing just basically a single run fuse, run through all of this. I do not do any electronic timing. Hopefully later on, through the next years, I'll gain more experience into that and have more money for larger fireworks. I really don't see any reason to use electronic timing for what I have this year, but hopefully we'll have enough money to light off some bigger ones. But for now, next step, it's going to be showing you how I'm organizing the show on the Excel sheet. Let's get to it. Alright, so here is the Excel sheet that I put together for this fireworks show. So I have the name of the firework over here, how many of them I'm using, the weight, whether that's a 200 gram, 350, 500, how many shots are on there. And I have here style. I don't know any standardized names for this, so I basically just said, is a good starter one, single shots. These are fans, bursts and fans and volleys. So that way I could kind of mix them up and create a variety of effects, so that way the show isn't monotonous. And over here, finale, it's just finale for the individual cake itself, whether because there are some cakes out there that do single shots or double shots and kind of end off at that, but there are ones that do single shots, and the last one is kind of a burst of 3 or 4 shots, so that way it has kind of like a mini finale. So I take that into account. That way I could also use that as another factor to layer in the variety. I put here mine, whether or not there is a mine that blows off with every single shot. That's another factor that I take into account to help layer in that variety as well. Here I have the duration of each individual cake, and total duration for the most part, which should be the same. These are in the case that I do have multiple cakes during one individual session per se. So and I also color coded it too. These ones in orange are sort of those cakes that kind of have individual shots at first, and it kind of go through like a quick barrage. And there's another thing that helps me layer it. So the ones that are kind of in this magenta colors are ones that have fans and volleys that come out, and the ones that I have in purple are basically 500 gram cakes, anywhere from 9 to 12 shots, and I layer them in with smaller cakes to get that layering effect as well. So this is how I did it. These are the categories I use. You guys could do it however you want, but this is what I use so that I'm able to determine the variety, because I don't want people to get bored as well. So all right, next would be to purchase your fireworks. I went to Superior Fireworks in Orange Park, Florida. You guys have a chance, please check them out. They have a lot of great deals. We got a few 200 gram cakes, a Gold Rush Space Race, and a lot of these other smaller 200 gram cakes for layering, as well as a finale. We got their American Pack, 8 shots, Shenanigans, Global Warmer. We're getting up to the 500 gram cakes, Hit the Road Jack, American Creed, a 9-shot Color Rush, Cobalt Bomb, SFX Majestic Brocade, Prometheus, Afterglow, Escape Velocity, Nighttime Spectacular, Downtown Display, Party Favor, Celebrate Freedom, Neon Cosmic Rain, as well as all of the Apollos from the Apollo pack, including 7, 8, 11, and 13. These are all 12 shots, as well as SFX Showline, Color Comets, and Crackling Flower Barrage, as well as a W Finale and a couple NOABs. And then we also got a few things to play with, some Roman candles, as well as smaller artillery shells, 1 inch, 1 1/4 inch, 1.75 inch, and a few canisters, as well as a UXO double breaks.